is collaboration over competition and why that is important for small businesses. So, when people hear about small businesses, if you are a small business owner, you are like, oh my gosh, my business is not small because I'm doing everything by myself and it's a lot of pressure, and my efforts, my investments have not been small. But it has to do with the number of employees and the scaling of your business, how much revenue, how many people you hire, and so forth and so on. So you've been hearing a lot in the news, we all have, about large corporations going bankrupt and the federal government making these budget cuts and not awarding the money that they used to help small businesses. And you may be thinking, well, if I'm a small business and this is happening to larger companies, how will I survive? So, the first thing that I'm going to say is don't panic. When you're frantic and impulsive, you will make a mistake. So, what you want to do is gather yourself and remain optimistic. Because if you're upset or thinking in a negative way, then your results are going to come out negatively. So, and that is the purpose of this platform as well. We're linking up Iron Sharpens Iron. It is to share insight and information, business to business, under what I would like to refer to as barter and trade. Now, barter and trade was most prevalent during the Great Depression. This was a time stock market crash and money had no value. There was one picture I saw where there was a bank full of money, but there was a wheelbarrow full of bread. And when the robbers came, they did not come to rob the money out of the bank. They came to steal the bread because money was worthless and eating was was the priority. So and I mention this is because during these times of uncertainty in the economy, we need to rely more on each other. So, I would like to jump into the mindset of collaboration. So, everybody remembers in kindergarten, you got a grade for your ability to work well with others. I think it was like a plus or a minus or a smiley face or a frown face, whatever mark the teacher used. And the reason why this skill was assessed in kindergarten, and it still is because this is a life skill that is needed to be successful, not just in life, but in business as well. And so when I'm speaking about working well with others, I'm not talking about being fake or brown nosing. I'm speaking about the character of collaboration. Now, what do I mean by the character of collaboration? The character of collaboration creates a win-win for everyone. The collaboration is mutual and supports the other where there is lack, and vice versa. Reciprocity. And one example that I would like to use is I recently bought a taco from KFC. Yes, I bought a chalupa box from Kentucky Fried Chicken. So that is a corporate partnership that they had. And this is the character of collaboration because KFC and Taco Bell get to operate their business and share the overhead costs. So the rent for the lease, that money is split up. The light bill is split up, and possibly, I'm not sure how they do their hiring, but maybe if an employee didn't show up to Taco Bell, one of the KFC employees was there, so they would always have somebody there in the store. I'm not sure, but they share the same refrigerator. And all of those things that if you were in business on your own, you would be responsible for paying for those things by yourself. And I would also like to address that in America, um, most people say that someone has to lose in order for someone to win. But I would like to just kind of ask a blanket question. What if no one had to lose? What if everybody could win? What if everybody could eat? And that would build the economy, I would think. Because if people are not making money, how can they shop at your store? How can they eat at your restaurants? So everyone needs to have an opportunity to make money. So when there is a gatekeeping monopoly, those companies end up over time losing their position and their value. Case in point, Blockbuster Video. Now, if you're Gen X, Gen Z, Gen Alpha, you don't know what I'm talking about. But Blockbuster Video is a video cassette store. Google it if you don't know what a video cassette is. You had to go to the store, physically pick up, it's a box. It looked like a book, but it was a video cassette inside. And it had a movie on it. And you take the movie home, you rent it for a day or 3 days, whatever. You take the movie home, you watch it, and you bring it back to the store, and then you can get another one. But think about if Blockbuster Video had invested in Redbox, because that was the next thing that came. Now, Redbox was this vending machine full of CDs. So we moved from VHS tapes to CDs or DVDs. And when that became popular, everybody was going to the Redbox, which was located in Walmart, outside of gas stations. They were everywhere. And it was also cheaper. I think you could rent those little discs for like $1 or $2. Whereas Blockbuster Video, you were renting the cassette for like $3. If it was a new release, $5. Okay, so then Redbox was replaced by Netflix, which most younger people know as a streaming service. But like I said, what if Blockbuster Video invested in the future and they allowed the creativity of others to come in? They would still be in business. And so what I would also say about Netflix, Hulu, and all the other streaming services is that one day they're going to be replaced by something else too. The same way Blockbuster Video was replaced, the same way Redbox was replaced. So if you just think you have that thing on a string and that time will not make you evolve your product, you're sadly mistaken. So that's where the collaboration comes in because maybe it's not a tangible resource that you need, but it's just an idea, or you're trying to understand what the wave of the future would be. So I can imagine that the people that originated the Blockbuster Video, they didn't know anything about CDs, and they didn't have that mindset. But a collaboration with a younger innovator would have helped them sustain all of these years. And of course, not everyone will, be interested in what you have to offer, but your business is for who it's for, and the people who it's for will patronize you. So that's why you should appreciate the customers that you have. If your customers are showing up for you, you provide that excellent customer service for them each and every time. You don't need a million customers to be financially secure in your business. But if you have a few hundred loyal customers, it's more financially viable, because the million customers could be here today, gone tomorrow, and then you're out of business. But if you have presented a product that stands the test of time, and you've provided quality customer support and service, people will keep coming back, and those people will remain loyal to you. And I'm just going to plug in what you said, Miss Thompson, about that communication and keeping up and understanding what the customer needs. And if you need to make adjustments to your business strategy, then you do that to keep the loyalty, to keep the trust. Another example of a business collaboration, and this is what a lot of restaurants are doing now, because what I've heard is that a lot of, because of the increase in gas prices and the 18-wheelers not being able to travel as much as they used to deliver goods, a lot of restaurants have to freeze their food. They're not doing as much fresh food as they used to. They have to take their items and freeze them, and to preserve them, because they don't know when the next truck is coming to drop off their supplies. But what's happening now is what is called a ghost kitchen. And two restaurants that I know here in Florida that are operating ghost kitchens is Chili's and Applebee's. And what a ghost kitchen is that if someone has a small business and they're serving food, when Applebee's closes, or when Chili's closes, or on their slow days, or what have you, these smaller businesses get to use Chili's kitchen, and they just pay a lease for that. Like, I only need your stove and your countertop for 3 hours today, just to make my orders. And then they use the kitchen, and then they go on, clean it up, and then they go on about their business, and they sell their food. A lot of food trucks have been doing this too, that want to scale their business to something larger. They use those corporate kitchens for a specified amount of time, and they sell their food, and they have no affiliation with the kitchen that they're using. They're just borrowing the kitchen for that amount of time. And that way, the restaurant cuts their overhead costs, and the smaller businesses get to cook their food without having all the extra overhead costs involved. And So I know that sounds all good and everything, but not everybody has a spirit of collaboration or the character of collaboration. So, real quick, I'm just gonna run through some considerations when you are looking for um, a potential collaborator. Number one, mission match. Um, every grant writer, anybody that writes grants, knows that without a mission match, then your proposal will not be accepted. Um, and that has to do with, does what I am intending to do with my business match what you intend to do with your business? Are we in alignment? Are we connected by our values? Do we believe the same principles as it relates to business? And your mission is the heart and soul of your business. And so I would just advise that, you never like leave your core, your center. What When you started your business, you had your idea about what you wanted to do, and even though your methods for getting that mission accomplished may have to change, never change why you started or your mission. Don't deviate from that, because your brand, your reputation, and your ability to develop trust rests in your mission, and your mission is what you are about. So I would not change my mission just because someone offered me $1 million, particularly if it's not something that I support or that is in line with my business strategy. The next thing I would like to offer is, you need to learn who you're dealing with, and kind of like going on a date. When you date someone, you want to know everything about them, what they like, what they don't like, so forth and so on. So if you're looking to collaborate, I would just offer that you step out with the person, have lunch or coffee, and basically observe their interactions. How do they treat the waiters? How do they interact during the conversation? Are they giving you an opportunity to speak, or are they just speaking about themselves? And this can go in relationships too. If you're dating someone, are they just talking about themselves, or are they giving you an opportunity to speak? And also analyze again the character of collaboration. Is a person looking to be served without serving? And it just seems like these days that's where a lot of people are. They want the benefit, but they don't want to reciprocate anything. The next thing is decipher the depth in which you wish to collaborate. Are you looking to sell your business completely? Are you looking to sell a portion of your business? If you're looking to sell a portion of your business, what part are you willing to sell? How much of your business are you looking to sell? But the warning there is that anytime you want to share any part of your business, of course, you will not be the only decision maker, and you will have to answer to some others when it comes to the decision making. Also, if you want to, let's say someone wants to buy you out for $1 million, you need to analyze, will $1 million pay all your expenses and then give you a comfy cushion to live off of for the rest of your life? If the $1 million won't do that for you, then you need to reconsider that offer and make sure that what you're accepting fits the needs that you have. Also, have you built your business because you want to create a legacy for your children or your grandchildren? So if you sell the business, that means that um, that will be the end of that. Or eventually, you may, if you have stakeholders, you may get bought out, and the voice of your family that you intend to leave it, leave the business for, they, your family line may not have any influence anymore. But it all depends on the arrangement. um the next thing I just want to add is, so if you don't want to sell your business, and you want support, you want to collaborate, again, I was speaking about barter and trading. And so you connect with other companies that can reciprocate your input. For example, if you need a storage warehouse for cheap, and I have a storage warehouse, and I need somebody to move in there because people are trespassing and breaking into the property. I need a tenant there. So if I rent my storage out to you for a low price, and then both of us are having a need met. You need a storage warehouse that is cheap, and I need traffic coming to that storage warehouse so no one will break in. Last but not least, I would say, if you must compete against yourself. Again, like I said, everything is not for everybody, and for those that need what you have, and like Miss Thompson said, they will pay that price. They will pay that price because they see the value in your product. And it is not always about the quality of material, or the quality of the product. And Miss Thompson added, that there are other layers that's involved, like your branding and the customer service you the customer service that you provide. And I'm gonna give a prime example of why branding and customer service is important. So, quick story. In 2005, I lived in Los Angeles, California, near the Fashion District. Now, the Fashion District in Los Angeles is a long line of stores. They sell shoes, clothes, purses, anything related to clothing, apparel. Now, at the bottom of these storefronts are factories. There are people under the stores sewing, cutting, measuring, making all these clothes, purses, etc. And the clothing that they're making goes to the storefronts that's on the strip up top, the storefronts, and they're also making clothes or apparel, accessories for every store in America, from Saks Fifth Avenue to Walmart. The only difference is their tags will say, one will say Polo, the other one will say Wrangler. It depends on what store it's going to. So all these same people making these items, same people, same material, same store, same business, but they're just getting shipped to different places. And if the workers, the seamstress, they make a mistake and misprint one of the labels, or one of the items, the clothing items that they made, looks a little different from the rest of the clothes they made, they labeled those irregular. And they don't throw those away. They sell them to Ross, Burlington's Coat Factory, TJ Maxx, Marshalls. So they were making those jeans or what have you for Saks Fifth Avenue, but they made a mistake and they used maybe black thread instead of white thread. So now TJ Maxx or Burlington buys that product and they sell it in their store for the discount. Again, same products on different price points, but in the character of collaboration, everybody is getting paid. You don't see Ross competing with Saks Fifth Avenue. They don't have a reason to, because they are targeting different markets. They don't have to compete against each other. But the point that I'm making is that Ross get paid, Saks Fifth Avenue gets paid, TJ Maxx, everybody gets paid. So that is the character of collaboration is creating a win-win system. So in how to compete against yourself, you analyze your strategy and you think of new ways every day to be more efficient and more productive in your own business. In conclusion, in this time of uncertainty, we can all thrive by embracing collaboration over competition. And that's all I have. And if there is anything else I need that needs to be addressed, any questions, anything like that,